It's week 9 of the NFL, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the football team and the Dolphins on Thursday night primetime.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight, we start week 9 with a primetime matchup between the Washington football team and the Miami Dolphins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done. They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Trucks over him. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. He'll return it from the 6. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, Gibson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on.
And now look at this. Big gain, the fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at it.
Going the other way.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So Miami coming out for their second drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. Out of CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Washington offense back out there. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. So 2 first downs, so that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Gibson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 39, Mayfield. And he slings one that's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 15-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Washington on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yeah, he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
From the 29, Mayfield. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. They find some open field here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Dolphins are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. It looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Throwing now is Tagovailoa over the middle and complete to Waddle. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That'll be caught for a Dolphin touchdown. It's Williams. Preston Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is down to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your team.
Now Mayfield lost the football. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. On first down, Tagovailoa. He'll air this one out for Mims. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy. So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And a quick throw here that's complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here is Washington now to take over. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. Here's a give to Gibson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got it to Gibson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He said, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. We'll get an update when we come back to Hunt trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to find his tight end. That's Hunter Long. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A give to Williams, running right. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Tua now on first down. Open man left side is the tight end Long. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Back now in Miami. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Sanders' kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 17-10. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity in the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, They want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A handoff for Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. To throw, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
To a hit, and the ball is out. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here we go on the next drive for Washington. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a two-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a two-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play there for the Dolphins.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Tua's throw here caught by Mims. 7 yards, the pickup there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play there for the Dolphins. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Tua going to throw. And his pass incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Second down and goal. Tua. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
Jason Sanders for the Dolphin field goal. A 30-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Washington ready to try again on offense. The field goal we just saw has us now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. They've got to get back to that. That means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So Tua and the Dolphins down 20-13, a minute 45 to play. And that's caught by Williams. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd and 10. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He's going to let it fly. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now Tua. Williams brings it in. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Tua to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. And they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there.